Hey everybody, it's Katie here with Team EvoAZ, and I am super excited because today we are going to talk about color, paint color specifically, because that seems to be a question I get about 1,000,000,001 times a day as I'm talking with clients. And we're talking about getting homes ready to sell and new buyers coming into their home wanting to make it their own. So I have this conversation quite a bit and thought, why not bring an expert to the audience to answer these questions for you guys. So I'm super excited. I have Jennifer here.
Hi there.
And Jennifer and I have worked together a couple of times now, and have known each other for a little while. So can you just tell us a little bit about your background and why I have you here to talk color?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Jennifer Lee. Well, it's actually Jennifer and Selma, but I go by Jennifer Lee on Facebook, as most of you might know me and see my pictures. So my background is that I actually graduated from the Art Institute of Phoenix with my bachelor's in interior design. And I actually took it and I went and worked with a couple firms after graduation and kind of found that the clientele wasn't really my cup of tea, and that's okay. I ended up getting my PMP instead and doing project management on a corporate level. So I did that for many, many, many years until I had babies. And now that I've got babies, I get to stay home with them and play house. So that's what I do right now. But I'm more than welcome to do like consultations for free, like a 30-minute consultation at your house for free. If you have questions, interior design questions, color questions, flooring questions, whatever you got, you can throw it at me and I can try to give you my best advice.
Nice. Awesome. And I know she does her own work because when I talked to her a couple of days ago, she was painting.
Yeah. I paint my house probably every 3 years because I'm super, I really love change and I like changing my vibes and I like changing with the seasons and things like that. So constantly painting, it drives my husband nuts, but hey, it keeps life interesting and keeps things fun.
Exactly. I love it. So you've got quite a bit of experience. So what are the common mistakes that people make when choosing an interior paint color?
I would say they choose too quickly. They're super excited to just get it over with and see what that paint color looks like on their wall. And they just get super excited and gung-ho about it. Yeah. And that's great. But then once you start painting it and you might see it on other walls and you're like, hey, wait, that's not the same color. Even though it is the same color, it just looks different because of the tone in the other wall is different. Lighting's different. All different things can change it. So what I highly recommend is that you go to like Lowe's actually sells sample sizes. So I suggest you get a sample size of paint and go home, paint yourself a 1x1 or even a 2x2 swatch on all the walls that are going to have that paint color. Sit on it for a week, maybe even 2 weeks. See if you still like it. See if you still love it. If you do, great. Then go ahead and paint your room that. But I would say definitely try it out for a little while and see what you think, because we know paint is expensive. So if you paint your whole living room that color and you hate it, then you're out money and you're gonna have to do it again. So try it out, do a big sample size, see what you think, and go from there. I would also say take into consideration if you're gonna be doing any home improvements, like if you're gonna be doing new lighting, new furnishings, new flooring, it changes everything. So take that into consideration too before you paint. I kind of like to change my lighting and things like that prior to painting because I already know that it's going to change the color of my paint. So I change all that first and then do my sampling and see how it looks, because what's the point of doing it backwards? And I would also say, I just talked to Katie about this too, don't use Pinterest, people. Do not use Pinterest for paint colors. It will never look the same. You will never be able to duplicate what is in Pinterest in your own house because you have your own lighting, your own furnishings, your own accessories, your own everything. Everything is totally different in everyone's house. Pinterest is great for furniture, for accessories, for ideas. I love Pinterest for that, but stop with the paint colors because they just don't look the same. And I can honestly attest to this because I have done it myself. But I painted my entire living room Revere pewter because I thought, oh, it's beautiful. It's great. Looks fantastic. Once it was on the wall, it had a greenish tint on 2 of the walls and then a gray tint on the other 2 walls. And I'm like, what is going on? So yeah. So now here we are repainting because Revere pewter did not work.
It did not work. So that you bring up a really good point because colors have shades, and so they're mixtures of different colors depending on the shade and
Exactly.
that kind of thing. So I know gray especially, which is really popular right now, it's very hard to work with because if it looks however it looks in the store, but then you get it home and you put it on your wall and it could go purple, it could go green like you said.
Absolutely. I have a gray color that looks gray on some of the walls, and then on other walls it looks baby blue.
Oh,
and
yeah.
People come to my house and they're like, this is not the same color. I'm like, I swear on my life, it is the same color. It's just the lighting is totally different in this part of the house versus the other part of the house. So now we're actually switching to Sherwin-Williams Colonnade Gray.
Ooh.
Not have any kind of undertones like blue or green. It's perfectly neutral. So that's actually what I'm switching to right now. I'm painting the whole house in that. But that seems to be the best one so far that I found in terms of grayish, I guess.
Yep. So awesome. So let's talk walls and ceilings. What color is the best color to paint the ceilings? Do you suggest going the straight white, or I've also heard some people will take like several shades lighter of whatever the wall color is and put that on the ceiling? What's your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I love a white ceiling because you can change your wall color all day long, and that way it still matches your ceiling. Because let's be honest, painting your ceiling is a nightmare. It's tough.
It really is.
Nobody wants to paint their ceiling. So as long as you can keep your ceiling, I think white is best because you can change your wall colors easily without having to mess with your ceiling. However, I have seen some really, really beautiful rooms done with the same color on the ceiling and the same color done on the wall and just broken up with crown molding. Break up the color a little bit and it doesn't look so monotonous and so overwhelming, especially like a black room, all black with a black ceiling. It's beautifully done with white furnishings, yellow furnishings, yada, yada. But they have that crown molding that at least breaks up the colors. You can also take it and go 80% white to 20% of your wall color. And that way it lightens it, and you can do that too, which is really nice. But again, as long as you're keeping your walls the same color or plan to for the length of time that you're in your house, that's great. Do that. But I say honestly, I change my paint color too often to mess with it. So I stick with white.
So yours are white.
Make sure you always go flat because there's so many imperfections in your ceiling because contractors do not care about your ceilings like they do your walls. So your ceilings are going to show a lot more imperfections. And if you have a flat paint, it won't pick up on those imperfections. And also light won't be reflecting and bouncing off your ceilings.
Good to know.
So that is definitely the way to go for your ceilings.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that. Awesome advice. What colors make rooms look bigger?
The lighter the color, the bigger the room. So yeah, lighter colors are definitely going to make your space bigger because it reflects light really well. And obviously opposing would be dark. Dark absorbs the paint or absorbs the light more. So darker the room, the smaller the space.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Good to remember.
Yes.
Do you suggest accent walls, or do you prefer just one continuous color throughout the house?
I actually love accent walls. I think they're great, especially if you have a feature to emphasize, like a wall of windows, a fireplace, anything like that is excellent. You can have that wall featured and then the rest of the house painted in whatever color you choose. I actually typically choose a shade that's either a complement to my opposing shade. So like my little girl's room is light purple and she has an accent wall of light yellow because that's the opposing on the color wheel.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I usually do that. So I do opposing colors on a color wheel and just the same lightness of that same color. So like I said, light purple, light yellow. I also think that you can actually go, I actually didn't know this until just recently, but you can go to the big box stores and have a can of paint made, but add 10% white or even more if you decide to do that. So like I've done an accent wall of Sherwin-Williams classic French gray because it matched some vintage yellow furniture that I have beautifully, but I couldn't find a light gray with exact same undertone. I took it over to Lowe's and had them lighten it by 20%. And it turned out beautifully for the rest of my space. So you can also do that too with your accent walls. So you could just go really dark and have them lighten it to do the rest of the space. So yeah, so I think accent walls are great. I think it breaks up a space wonderfully, and that way it's not so monotonous throughout your house and everything else. Yeah.
Awesome tip.
Accent walls.
So here's a bonus question that you didn't get.
Sure. I love
Put her on the spot. So what are this season's hot colors? Do you know yet?
Yeah, I've actually been seeing a lot of teal. Teal, like actually like a dark teal.
Nice.
Has been like all the rage lately. I've seen a lot of royal blue.
I love it.
So there's that too. So I'm actually seeing a lot of really bold and bright colors, which is awesome because now we're breaking up the grays a little bit, breaking up the neutrals a little bit. And honestly, I love pops of color. I think it's excellent. Like if you can do them on your toss pillows, like on your sofa or on a beautiful throw. I love mosaics, like I love quilts. So I think pops of color coming back into season is fantastic because it makes it not so boring.
Right.
So I love a nice gray space and I love a nice beige space, but those pops of colors are really nice.
Yeah, no kidding. You can only do white and gray so much.
For so much, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to add that we didn't touch upon today?
Not really. I just think that, like I said, stay off Pinterest. Pinterest is key.
Good advice.
There.
Yep. It's like pricing your house on Zillow. Don't do that.
Exactly. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think, like I said, just testing your colors a lot. Contrast is key. So same with like your trim and your accent pieces of your house. Like definitely contrast is the way to go. Like I said, a dark wall, maybe white baseboards, white crown molding, or even a couple shades lighter. If you want to go that route too, you can do that with your trim too. So I think contrast is obviously always key. So that's what I would highly recommend.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and your expertise today.
You're welcome.
And so people can get in touch with you on Facebook if they have any questions, just message you. And it's Jennifer Lee, and that's Leigh, correct?
You got it. Yep.
And then you'll notice because of her pretty blonde hair. So you'll know it's her.
Except for my profile picture right now is the Cheshire Cat. So I'm like, that's kind of tricky. But you'll find me no matter what. You'll find me some way, somehow.
If not, just get in touch with me and I'll get you in touch with Jen.
Exactly. And yeah, I would love to do a consultation if anybody needs advice or anything fun. Constantly, like I said, rearranging housing and everything. Right now I'm doing my own house, trying to flip my own house, actually.
Nice.
Just finished flipping the one in Peoria that Katie sold for me. Yay. And sold actually really quickly, guys. So she's your lady.
Thank you.
So yeah, so definitely I'm here if anybody has any questions, concerns, whatnot. Send me messages, send me pictures. I'll try to help you out as best as I can.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you. And everybody, as you know, I'm Katie Holly Lambert. You can find me at Team EvoAZ on Facebook, or you can message me as well. And our website actually has a lot of really cool, juicy things on it, and that is EvoAZ.com. So check us out there. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.